Last roundup, last roundup. Recording in progress.
You are listening to the Last Roundup Horror Show. I am Frank. With me, as always, Jason Miller.
Yep.
John Walmsley.
Beer. What's up,
and
guys?
Rob Avery.
What's up, everybody?
And we got 4 bangers this time, huh, guys? 4 real movies. What do you want to start with?
Let's go with how about the amusement park? Or is that like, do you want to talk about that last?
Oh, I had no plans. No, it was a good piece of art.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will say.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
It
was definitely
very artistic.
it
Very artistic movie.
Summary for the Amusement Park, 1973. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a movie that was commissioned by a group that was trying to advocate for the rights of elderly people, and like it's supposed to like shine a light on the problems that elderly people had. It's not a horror movie at all, but the summary for this movie: an elderly gentleman goes for what he assumes will be an ordinary day at the amusement park, only to find himself in the middle of a hellish nightmare. Written by Walton Cook and directed by George Romero. Jason, do you have information on this?
Oh, sure do. Tagline: "See you in the park someday." Distributed by Shudder, and there's obviously no Blu-ray release, but I wouldn't be surprised if this has some kind of release.
Yeah, with the Romero Foundation on board, they're probably gonna put this out. But yeah, I gotta say, like, it made me think, like, since this was never shown, do the people that were in it ever get to see it? Because that might be the saddest thing about this, if all those elderly people never got to see it once.
Oh man.
Because they're all volunteers, like, or they worked with elderly people, from what I
get to watch it in spirit.
That's a hard one to answer. I would like to think that it did happen.
They at least got to see it. But yeah, evidently when Romero made this, he presented it to, it was the Lutheran Society that hired him. And when they presented it to him, they're like, this is way too frightening of imagery for us to put out. So they shelved it for 45 years. At first I was like, I didn't realize there was going to be so much metaphor in this. That's all it is metaphor after metaphor. And when I seen the elderly people like exchanging their clocks for admission or to get tickets or whatever it was, I was like, that's weird. I don't ever think there was a time where elderly people had to like sell their clocks.
It's the Antique Roadshow.
Yeah.
But the best part about this movie for me is seeing the old amusement park, like kind of being in that location, because it reminded me so much of this place that I went to when I was a kid called the Americana Amusement Park. It's now closed. Like, you can find pictures of it. It's still there and it's creepy as fuck because I was there and now it looks like a ghost town. Like, it's like everything's still intact basically.
I need to get permission to shoot there.
Yeah. It's down by you. I think Middleton, is that down by you?
Yeah, we used to go there a lot.
Yeah,
it was literally cheap. The cheapest amusement park there was.
Yeah, you could get in for like $12 or something like that, and there was like a roller coaster and shit.
One roller coaster.
Yeah, but it was like this style amusement park. Everything looked
like
just
Conneaut.
Like this
place a place up north of me where I went as a kid, Conneaut Lake Park.
Well, this was shot near you, I think, wasn't it?
It's in Western PA somewhere, but not.
It's not an amusement park anymore. It's a shopping center.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where, but it's like in the realm, the Western PA realm.
Yeah. I couldn't find much information on Walton Cook, the writer, but I thought his perspective, like if he was a person, Ramiro was only 34 at this time, which seems crazy to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know how old Walton Cook was. I couldn't find shit on him, but he hit the like perspective of elderly people right on the head. I think all the things, it made sense to me. And the funny thing is, none of these things aren't relevant today. I think like any of the topics that they're talking about, which makes me wonder if they would put this out. Maybe, maybe we wouldn't need billboards on the side of the road that advocate against beating old people up.
The world is finally ready.
But the guy that plays the old man in this, Lincoln Maisel, he lived until he was 106 years old, and he was only in like three or four things ever. He would do a great job. I think that's a lot of time missed of opportunity that people could have used this guy, but he looked old as shit back when this was made. I can't imagine what he looked like by the time he passed away and he was 106.
He was probably waiting for this film to be released.
But yeah, man, this is,
I'll see that movie someday.
there are so many reasons that I liked this movie. It's art, like you know how I feel about that. We talked about Tetsuo. It's an art thing, but I thought it's perfectly timed for me. Everything should be this length, like an hour. So I gave it a 10. I thought it better expressed the talents of George Romero than any of his other movies. He was given a very difficult project to work on, and came out with this piece of art that I appreciated. So. Hammer it home, Jason. Kill it. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, I think it's awesome that we get to see an unreleased Romero movie. So I think it's awesome that they found it, Shudder released it. Like, hey, I'm glad everything worked out. There was no legal battles, and ended up building this up to be, a big letdown, which is pretty much what this is. Not what I was expecting. Like, you hear Romero, I'm thinking, I don't know. I was thinking horror or something. You know what I mean? Like, at least in that genre. It's original. It's different. It's unique. And I didn't even know anything about the partnership or anything. Like, I haven't read anything about this. I didn't know it was actually put out to like make people aware of what was going on. But I mean, we're just watching an old man in an amusement park, which represents real world problems and the world life as an old person. There's not much dialogue in this. It's not really a plot. You know what I mean? They set scenarios up and it unfolds. But he did a good job, like making you feel something. Like the whole time, I was just like. It was almost like it's cringeworthy, like the stuff that happens to this dude and what he has to go through.
Well, whenever he's reading to that little girl and then the mom takes her away, like shit like that, man. That's like,
she let that dude, like he got like halfway through the book.
Yeah.
Just a random old person just walks up and starts reading to your, like getting right up next to your kid. he asked for that one. But no, getting old sucks. People suck. That's what this is.
Yeah,
putting out there. It's under an hour. The point could have been made in 20 minutes. You say it's the perfect length. I'm like, this is 40 minutes too long. Like it was almost like you're watching a pamphlet, if that makes sense. Like some kind of
a children's
awareness
book or something. Yeah.
Well, like a pamphlet you pick up at the doctor's office or something about, I don't know, diabetes or something.
This is the diabetes pamphlet of movies.
What's that old guy that always did the commercials?
Wilford Brimley?
Yeah. Put him in this movie about diabetes and
he would have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he would.
He's way too young. He was way too young.
He always looks 60, man.
Yeah.
He was born looking 60.
Yeah, He was. Yeah, he said he had type 2 diabetes. I think he was born with type 1. Cop part 2. Anyway,
First words were diabetes.
I think I've said this before. I mentioned it to someone on Facebook. I think it's worth watching once, but for a movie, it's a 3.
I'm sorry.
I get it. No, laugh away. Laugh away. Whatever. I get you. I get where you're coming from.
Let's hear Rob's review.
Oh man, it's like okay, first of all, I feel this movie. I'm like 50, so it's like it was depressing as shit watching this movie. Seeing all these old people get treated like monsters.
You're 50 years old?
Yeah.
I'm
and you're from Ohio?
Yeah.
Minds are being blown tonight.
You're living
nice
well,
to meet
man.
you, Rob. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to know you.
Like 6 episodes in. Nice to meet you. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just like just seeing them get treated like monsters, and then to see the weird things that they got to go through. Kind of like there's a certain type of flavor that movies had back then, especially the ones that are more artsy. Like I'm trying to remember the name of this one movie I saw. This movie kind of reminded me of the pacing of it. It had Shelley Duvall in it, and in the movie there was this teenage boy that created some type of flying machine or something like that. But anyways, it kind of reminded me, style wise, of that. That weird surrealness that the films had back then. And it's kind of like a sarcasm, if you will. It just seemed very sarcastic to me. Like he was just like giving his opinion on how the elderly were treated, and all the different symbolisms of whole things of like when they're turning their clock, they're giving up the last moments of their life, they entered this place, and all the other different stuff. Like people look at them and people see the elderly these days, and it's just like you look at them and you're like, oh, gosh darn, I'm gonna be old someday, and then next, it's like you see someone walking around with a cane. Like there's this guy I work with who's got like a bad back, and I'm thinking, holy fuck, is that gonna be me one day? Am I gonna be, walking around complaining about my back and
I do it now.
Barely able to move or talk,
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing to think about, but yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10 though, because it's just like I would give it about an 8. I mean, it's not really like a movie that you would like watch all the time at a party or something like that, but
Put it on, man.
Great party movie.
But it was good for what it was. It was like I said, it made you think. It's one of those movies that just kind of makes you think, and it's like like what, like putting a puzzle together or something like that. You're watching it, and it's like it's brain food.
Or kind of like looking at a painting, like a piece of art. Yes, maybe you would look at it and kind of like take from it what you will.
Pamphlet.
Like something Andy Warhol would have done,
Right.
But this is one of the differences in art films. Whereas Tetsuo, you would want to maybe put on some industrial music behind it.
Yep.
If you put industrial music behind this, you are
Tetsuo
fucking crazy.
Wait a minute. If you use Ministry, perhaps it might work.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to try it.
I recommend Enya. Put that on. John.
Oh man. Yeah. So I was super pumped for this movie. It's a Lost Romero. I'm from Romero land. I'm from the area. Yeah, man. So like to see something that hasn't been seen, presumably outside of the people that may have been in it, at least some of them. Maybe I could be way off.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I loved the beginning and the ending. I love the way it went. As soon as the way it happened, I was like, I know exactly. It's all just
bookends.
There it is. It just looked really cool. And the guy's like, are you sure you don't want to go outside? Having seen just what he went through, he's like, fuck that.
I feel like that guy a lot of the time. I feel
Yeah.
like that old guy at the end a lot of the time. Like, no,
Oh,
there ain't nothing
dude.
out there for you, man. Don't fucking do it. There ain't nothing out there.
Look at me. Look at me. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ride the roller coaster. But yeah,
Of old.
oh god, yeah. But like Romero's off horror films were a little bit on the artsy side. Arrow released a 3-pack that contained the crazies, and obviously you're aware of the crazies, but it also came with Season of the Witch, which is you may like
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
may
yeah.
not.
I remember.
I
That,
still
yeah.
gotta
And
watch
then
that
and then
one.
this other one that's called There's Always Vanilla. And those are like artsy, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you know him for horror, right? You don't know him for his art films. Way other end of the spectrum. It's like, oh wow. Because it's George Romero, you're thinking, all right.
Although a couple of
when
those shots
is-
of the old people walking around, I mean, you could put zombie makeup on them. Like you can see.
Yeah. He used
Like they
some.
were
all
He
just
used some music
shuffling.
cues from that he used in Dawn of the Dead, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the old amusement park, what they used to be, like I mentioned Conneaut Lake Park, that it was the one roller coaster, the Blue Streak. It's like world famous. I can't remember what it's for, but it's got some sort of record thing. And then yeah, it was cool. Like it was sad. You got to be in the mood to watch it. It is worth watching once. Like, hey, it's a Romero, the Lost Romero film. Check it out. Even if it is a pamphlet, check it out. But he made it pretty well. he made a pamphlet I would read once.
I would hang the artwork on my wall. I
Yeah.
mean, even that cover, that whoever did that.
Oh, that is cool. That was a really
Yeah.
cool cover. I like how they did that. But I ended up giving this a 7. And like I don't need to watch it again. It's cool. It is what it is. It looked good. The characters were real, literally. The metaphors were a little heavy-handed sometimes. But all in all, check it out, guys. It's George Romero, for Christ's sake. Check it out.
And there is a really funny scene in the bumper cars part where they have an accident and there's a policeman that comes in. I laughed really, really hard at that shit.
Yeah, that was so strange.
All right, let's move
So
into
strange.
1988 for Slugs.
Yeah.
Killer slugs on the rampage in a rural community. Directed by John. Can you say this one for me? Do you know
Juan Picar Simon.
There you go. And written by Ron Gantman, Jose Antonio Escriva, and Juan Picar Simon. Huh?
There you go.
It's based on a novel, evidently, by Sean Hudson.
I know. I need to check it out. I got to get it.
Jason, do you have information?
Tagline: They slime, they ooze, they kill. Distributed by New World Pictures and out on Blu-ray through Arrow, 2016.
My collection. Yep.
Yeah, I need to get that.
This is I've never seen this before.
Same.
The first thing that stood out to me was the music they used in between things. There was just bizarre music choices that happened that you could have used in pedestrian moments in a horror movie, or like as background music in a YouTube tutorial about how to organize your home office. It was
game show music. I heard game show music.
Just weird choices. The first special effect you see is pretty impressive. The corpse of the drunk guy covered in worms and shit. It's a pretty good piece of business. It lets you know that they've got a team on this. I think it's hilarious that the main character is a health inspector. for multiple reasons. If anybody's ever met a health inspector, they are not going to be the person that saves the day ever. And I think it's funny the problems they have him dealing with, like in some of his phone calls and stuff. And they give him a health inspector type car too. Like his car's he's just a lame guy. And I think it's funny that no one like takes him seriously. The cops like fuck off. But yeah, this one dude fucking gets he's like a farmer or something. His name's Harold, one of the characters that dies, but he really overreacts when he puts his hand in his gardening glove and gets bitten.
Yep.
And then just eventually, I mean, it's really hilarious. He just cuts his hand off. Fucking wild. Just a little bit of an overreaction. I would try a million other things before I went to that. But this is the guy that did Pieces, right? So I noticed a lot of similar things between the two movies, because like just the layout of the movie in general seemed very similar, because the dude loves a fucking procedural. He loves to like get the detectives in there and fucking mix it up. But this guy's not a detective. He's one of my favorite kinds of detectives. One that's not involved at all. Like he's the fucking health inspector. He shouldn't be involved. But yeah, man. This movie's crazy. There's a scene with a guinea pig gets attacked by a slug, and all I could think of was like, how the fuck did they get it to do that? Like, do you think that if you just wrapped something around a guinea pig, it would fucking act all crazy like that? Quality work, whatever it was. The scene in the bedroom was awesome. There's a floor full of slugs. It's just it's all nasty and shit. My favorite character is the police chief. I love how much he says "God damn it," and he thinks that the main character, whose name is Mike Brady, by the way, he thinks this guy's a complete fucking joke. He won't take him serious at all. There's a lot of cool effects though. There's a guy that melts down at the restaurant.
Yep.
Fucking great. There's a lot of body melt type shit. This is just a pleasant treat. It was a Halloween film all of a sudden. Yeah. Like out of nowhere, it's just Halloween. I loved that. Yeah, and then there's this part where Mike goes and gets his friend, and I've never seen this happen in a movie before, where they're going to do some sketchy shit and the guy just directly tells his wife what's going on. Like he's like, well, to be honest with you, we're going down in the sewer to get some slugs. And I'm like, God damn it. So many movies, if they would have just done that shit to begin with, you know.
He loves his wife. He's honest with her.
Yeah. Overall, this is the best version of this kind of movie. Ultimately, Pieces is way better. But that's just because it's more in my genre wheelhouse. Ultimately, you got a 6 out of 10 from me. It's an above average creature feature. Is that what you would call this? Oh
yeah,
for sure.
Mutant slugs on a rampage.
Oh, Frank.
Isn't it nice to how everybody has different opinions?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm just trying to wrap my head. You gave this movie a 6. We have Amusement Park a 10.
Yeah,
like it blows my mind at sometimes the numbers you throw out here. But that's your opinion. Well, don't get mad.
I'm not mad. I'm saying that as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want to watch any movie about a bunch of things or large things. That's like not creature features aren't for me. So a 6 is like a 10 to you guys or whatever, you know, like it's as good as it's gonna get. I mean, it's a Frankenfish. Come on.
Wow, come on. All right, okay. So I get what you're saying a little bit. I'll touch on that here in a second. But so this it started off slow for me. I didn't really get into this movie until about 40 minutes in, and then I was like, wow, like it got really good all of a sudden. Like I think it was maybe when those like the couple was in the bedroom and she gets off the bed and he tries getting out the window. Like that's when that's when it grabbed a hold of me. The effects look great. Some of the blood looks a bit bad, but
a bit painty.
yeah, but a little bit. It has a great head explosion in it. I'm always impressed with head explosions. Like, I think it takes some skill to pull one off. So and slugs are disgusting just to begin with. Like, I've stepped on them walking out to my car. Like, you can feel them squishing. Like, I can't imagine stepping on a whole floor full of these things. They're just disgusting. And I think that this. So you said this is kind of the best movie. I don't know what you meant.
Like, as far as
creature feature, or just
like,
best
I'm really ultimately only going to give
type.
Yeah, I think I gave Frankenfish a 4. Like, this is a 6. Like, this is as good as I'm going to get.
Well, the only thing I was getting at is this would be a good double feature with Slither.
I'll take it. Slither is the exception to the rule. That movie is fucking amazing. But
so, I mean, I think that would be a good night. This and Slither. Put those together. Some of the writing is a bit weird, but that may have something to do with it being a novel. They may be trying to stick to it, or I don't know. It just seemed to get a little bit weird. It takes an imagination. So that's what I'll say as far as like you Frankenfish. Like, this takes an imagination. Like, you have to be. This ain't necessarily a serious movie. Just put it in, have a good time with it. It gets points for being fall time. Halloween. I mean, there wasn't stress, but there's some jack-o'-lanterns, the leaves are turning. Like, it gets a couple points for that. I like horror movies filmed in the autumn. I feel like autumn and winter. Well, no, I need my summertime slasher.
Just say
it's all good. I like it. Not perfect. I will pick this up. I gave it a 7.
Very cool. Yeah, this was a fun one. I got to review this one when I was still reviewing Arrow discs. So this that was the first time I saw it. The only other like worm kind of movie I saw before that was Squirm, which I really like. Nice. So the extras on this disc, I know there's some sort of documentary that really goes in about how they use the slugs and what literal kind they are. I found so many different kind of names for them, but dude, the different kind of music they kept playing, I loved it. The cop show, they had the cop show theme, they had the love theme. It's like I kept waiting for after every gory scene for it to go da, 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 da. You know, like that one Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Every sequence ended with that. Like, it was an early one, but it was just so funny. It was like the heart thing, the heart.
Oh yeah,
mask. You know what I'm talking about? But that was funny. The dude, that restaurant scene was great. I mean, that salad did taste salty.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then just
yeah,
it's so awesome. Great effect. This is a solid watch. Like, there's I really liked how they used like a giant garbage bag with some fake slugs on it to pad out the amount of slugs they had. And then the sewer scene I really like too, with the lightning or the electricity, and then the them flowing down, or well, they're flowing down a hill or on a treadmill or something. I'm not sure exactly how the effect worked, but the slugs were moving down the sewer. That was really awesome. This is just a fun flick. Like, it's gross, but not overly gory. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. It wasn't Pieces. You know what I mean? This was like a lot tamer than Pieces. So I ended up giving this one a 7. It's a super fun watch, and everyone should see it at least once.
Right on, Rob.
That was one of my favorite movies. It's like, it's gory. It's got like hot chicks getting naked, or at least one hot chick, and it's like the restaurant scene that everyone keeps talking about, that was amazing. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen here? As the blood starts coming out of a dude's nose, I was like, whoa, man, that was just like the big explosion, the worms, blood flukes, man, that was just like, that's beauty, that's art. All the gore scenes were really cool, and then the slugs themselves are fucking hilarious. Who didn't laugh when they did a close up on a thing and it went? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the one that had teeth.
So awesome.
With the bite of or something. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's why it takes an imagination for sure.
It's like, oh, it's in my glove. I guess I'll cut my hand off.
Yeah, just right to it, man. He like hit it on shit a lot, but yeah.
Your logic.
Well, what do you give it out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 8. It's like, it's a movie. Like I said, I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray and I'm gonna watch it over and over again.
There you go.
It looks just like it on Tubi. I'm pretty sure that's the Arrow Blu-ray version that they show. It's super clear. Like it looks good. The photography, that I like the fast motion slugs, that made them look like extra gross.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they showed them at regular speed because they're super. I remember something like he's like, they are way slower than regular slugs. Like we had to film them at super high speed in order to make look like they're doing something. So that I thought that's a fun one.
Yeah, it would be a pain in the ass to make that film for sure. Speaking, since we talked about pieces a little bit, I was thinking about it, and I just want to know, what's the thing you remember most about that movie?
About Pieces.
Yeah, what's the one thing that when you're thinking about Pieces, you're like, that's the first thought, the first image.
The puzzle.
The puzzle, right?
Or the very end. The very end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The end part, whenever the genital,
the nut grab.
Yeah,
that too.
That's the first thing that pops into my head.
That too.
I think the chainsaw shower scene. I think that's one of 6 for me.
Yeah.
That's such
one of
a
the grossest
scene.
scenes in the movie, man.
They used like a pig,
like
a pig for that, like a pig carcass for that.
That's great too. That karate guy out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what a great movie. What a great movie.
Slasher.
God damn it. Makes me happy. Let's go to 2014 for Housebound. A young woman is forced to return to her childhood home after being placed under house arrest, where she suspects that something evil may be lurking. Written and directed by Gerard Johnstone. Do you have information, Jason?
Tagline: Terror gets domesticated. Don't know who distributed this. Production company is Semi-Professional Pictures. Released on Blu-ray 2017 from Accelerator.
The first thing that happened in this movie was I saw that beautiful New Zealand Film Commission logo pop up, which anytime I see a horror movie from New Zealand, I'm like, here we go, man. We're going to see some crazy shit.
Going to see some familiar faces. It seems like they just have a small group of actors that everybody's in the same movie.
And they've all done like some version of the Power Rangers or something. I don't know what year this movie is supposed to take place in, but it seems like mid-90s. Is that right? Late 90s maybe, because they have dial-up internet. There's
phones.
Yeah, they have an antenna on their TV or whatever. But yeah, I love the fucking the best part about this is the Kiwi accent. I love fucking hearing New Zealand people talk. I love it. It's great. It makes up for anything that I might say later that is about me not really liking this. The woman on house arrest is a fucking cunt.
Yes.
I don't know why they wrote an adult woman to act like this, but I don't think anybody would act like that, like she does. It's a very weird choice. I would have told them to throw that bitch right in jail when she ate the whole meatloaf and drank all the beer. She would be, the movie would be that short. It would be 20 minutes and it would be her in jail. But yeah, this is a slow moving movie and is billed as a comedy horror movie, and 40 minutes in I'm like, when does either of those things
Yep.
occur? And it's nothing like the New Zealand horror that I've seen before, like Undead. Is that what I'm thinking of? Undead, anything from Peter Jackson. What the fuck else was I thinking of? Black Sheep. Like, this is not that's the horror comedy I'm used to from New
They're
Zealand.
responsible for Evil Aliens as well. Did Evil Aliens come from New Zealand?
I've never seen that, but
Me neither.
I'm interested to see it. Or like Deathgasm, like
Yeah,
that's
that guys.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
anything that kid's in.
yeah. I was expecting something aside from one jump scare out of the first 40 minutes, and I hate jump scares, man. It's so cheap. They yeah. I don't know. This thing was about as funny as a New Yorker cartoon and about as scary as a Disney Channel Halloween special, ultimately. And before I realized it wasn't a ghost story, I had problems with it because, like, fucking, I watch a lot of paranormal shit all the time. Why? Some of it's fake, I know. Some of it's real, but I have some awareness of the capabilities of some capabilities. I think so. Fuck, I've seen enough of it. Goddamn, they can't all be that good at producing videos, right? but yeah, I think that even if they're not, regardless, the shit that I assume is real, there's certain capabilities that ghosts have, and it's a lot of this shit. That's why these ghost movies don't really work for me, because it doesn't scare me. I know that the worst thing a ghost can do at its strongest is throw your dishes across the room. So, and I read a review that, well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I've watched enough of it. I've watched enough of it, right? Like,
he's an expert now.
They say 10,000 hours to be an whatever. I've probably put
An
in
expert.
a good chunk. Okay, I'm wrong. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I read one review.
Ghosts are cool. Let them have
I believe in
thing.
ghosts. I believe in ghosts, but they can only throw dishes across the room. Like, that's all they can do.
Well,
But I believe it.
I want you to look at all the ghost videos that are available.
I don't want to.
Well, see, I'm doing it for you. I'm bringing the information to you. I'm bringing it to you.
I don't want to.
Yeah. I read one review that said this movie is part slapstick comedy. I don't know where they saw that at. Maybe when the girl accidentally stabs her stepfather with the shears. Ha!
That was so funny.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess they bring in this Eugene character. He's supposed to be the comic relief. They bring him in at the very end. And I thought this movie was the result of someone trying to do too many things at the same time. They just pick a lane, horror, comedy, do one of them at least. And I think the funniest thing about this movie is that Dennis looked like Ted Cruz, at the end, especially during the maniacal segments. And I did really enjoy the head explosion. I liked that. That was like the best thing in the movie, I guess. I gave it a 3 out of 10. So, what's up?
He's like, gauntlets are thrown.
Yeah, so horror comedy from New Zealand. I was kind of expecting more of that tone. I guess
Either
the
one,
humor
horror or comedy,
that I'm used to. But it is there, and I could pick up on it, and I actually did enjoy the humor that was in it, at least. And I enjoyed all the characters. The girl, yes, bitch, but I mean that's the way they wrote it, so that was her character. But no, I loved the mom. I thought she was hilarious. I enjoyed the little plot twist that they threw in there. The house itself I thought was cool. I thought it was a nice setting. I don't know. It was just, this is another one-time watch for me. It was middle of the road. I may pick this up for, a couple bucks if I come across it, used somewhere. I gave it a 5 out of 10. John?
All right. Yeah, so this was actually probably the second time I've seen this. I saw it when it came out. I streamed it on Netflix, I believe, when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't go in expecting any certain kind of horror or comedy or anything. It was just a horror comedy. All right, cool. It little light on the horror, but
A light on the comedy.
I liked it. I thought it was funny. But that chick, man, oh my God. But to that actress's credit, like she played that part pretty well to emote such a reaction. I wanted to she was like King Joffrey evil. I hated her at the beginning. Excuse
She
me.
won you over.
Well, I mean,
You forget
the
about
whole you do forget about it because there's worse stuff going on. I liked the shiftiness of the plot, and I thought it furthered the story along. It's like, oh, okay, all right, and it's like all the elements were always there for it to go in those directions.
To just become people under the stairs, like all of a sudden, that's what it is now.
I mean, that was that neighbor's
It's
that
a
was that
twist.
neighbor's love child with that prostitute. He told the story.
Yeah.
Kid didn't like the sunlight for some reason.
I understand that.
Yeah, go figure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, whatever. His whole setup was neat. The insides of the house, of the walls inside the house, that was awesome. He had like a little slide, I think, down into the one thing. Like he had that place decked out. That was when on Bob's Burgers when he lived in the crawl space for a couple days.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
it reminded me of.
That's like a classic. That's like
that's like episode 2, I think. I love that show. I love that show.
It's just kind of same plot as The Boy, ain't it? Kind of.
I've never seen that.
I mean,
You know what?
isn't
That
aren't
is
you led to
better
believe that's
than
Supernatural.
its reputation.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. Like I avoided that movie forever, but
Me
then
too.
my wife, she's not that into horror, but that's one that she said, "Hey, I want to see it." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm on board." But I think that's kind of like the same thing. I thought you're led to believe it's something supernatural, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
spoiler alert, it's someone in the walls or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's right. But I was also pleasantly surprised
It's
at that.
kind
I
of
was like,
a bad
wow.
Ronald kind of thing.
A what?
I said bad Ronald.
Oh, was that better than you thought it was going to be?
Bad Ronald?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I just know the reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Back to
Housebound.
Housebound. Okay. All right. Anyway,
He hides it in his wall.
I did like. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I did like how through. Oh Jesus! What was the boy's name? Eugene's pictures. He showed her how shitty she was. You know what I mean? So she kind of like got a little bit of a reckoning with herself. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice poignant moment. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie, even the second time around, because it's been years since I've seen it. It's been out. When it 17?
I thought it was
right.
Oh, the Blu-ray
2017?
17. I don't know.
I think it was 14.
Oh, then it's been even longer than I thought then.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. All right, so I haven't watched it since it came out, not because it sucked. There's just been so many things to watch. But I liked it a lot. I gave it an 8. I thought it was really enjoyable. I love the way it flowed. It was fun.
Right on. Rob?
Yeah, y'all are too kind. Because it's like, for me, this movie was just sheer torture.
Hey, there we are. There we are.
It was like, it was like, I felt like that dude from A Clockwork Orange, where he was being forced to watch something.
You picked this, did you? Did you pick this?
I picked it, yeah. So I tortured myself, man, like a Cenobite or something. It was just like, it was so awful. It was like, it just dragged and dragged. and I was expecting horror or something to happen, and they just talk.
Talk about a pamphlet.
Yeah, it was just like nothing but talking. And every now and then something bloody happens. Who cares? It's just like, it's so boring. It's not worth it. And then I'm sitting there like, okay, it's like haunted house. Okay, waiting for haunted house. And then holy fuck, god damn it, it's fucking Bob Ross living in their fucking walls. He comes out looking at like a goddamn raccoon, and I'm like, fuck this.
It doesn't help that the movie's almost 2 hours long. Like it really is a.
All right, it might be a little bit long.
It did.
All right, a little bit.
It was just such torture for me, and then the Bob Ross thing just messed it up even further. I didn't hope it had. The one saving grace this movie had was that gore effect at the end when Bob Ross stuck the damn the fork, the stick in the neck, and then plugged it in, whatever. Boom. Okay. And so that is the only reason why the movie gets the 1 point that I'm going to give it.
Wow.
At least somebody's on my team.
Holy terrible. For me, my
shit.
opinion, it's a terrible movie. I will never watch it again. And I will warn people, that are looking for something entertaining to just go watch something else. But that's just my opinion. I understand.
I love it. I love how everybody's got
So you picked this blindly.
Yes.
Right.
I've almost done it too. The cover art looks great.
I try to blind pick some films because it's like I want to see more movies because I have this entire huge collection of awesome films. I'm like, how many more awesome films are out there that I haven't seen? And unfortunately, this was not one of them.
Right on. I got you.
Okay, well, let's move into a movie that I had the most fun with, Evilspeak, from 1981. Summary for this film: an outcast military cadet taps into a way to summon demons and cast spells on his tormentors through his computer. Directed by Eric Weston, written by Joseph Garofalo and Eric Weston. Jason, do you have information?
I have a couple of taglines, and the first one is one of the worst that we've ever had on the show.
Oh my!
Remember the little kid you used to pick on? Well, he's a big boy now.
Oh my god!
That's so stupid. That's like, that doesn't even say anything about. I mean, the picked on part, but what the? Anyway.
He gets picked on in the same year that he gets his revenge, so he's not like
he didn't get that. It's happening real time. And then the second one,
boy, until I met Satan, he made me into a man.
Data incomplete, human blood needed. Distributed by Marino Films and Warner Brothers, out on Scream Factory, which I regret not picking up.
Yeah, it's out now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh god.
2014.
Yeah. As much as I love Clint Howard in The Ice Cream Man and Richard Mole as Bull on Night Court, I think this is their best work. I don't think they would probably feel that way, but this movie is extremely fun. It starts right off with your traditional beachside satanic ritual, complete with a beheaded sacrifice that I think everyone should watch in slow motion if you have the ability to, because it's goofy as fuck, but it's fun. It's fun. I didn't know that Clint was wearing a toupee. Like, this is old as shit, so I figured that was just his hair, but I read a little trivia that he had the studio made him buy it himself. So yeah, he dropped some money because that's a good rug, man. I thought the one thing I thought was really strange was the character that plays Kowalski. His name's Haywood Nelson, and I just thought it was weird that they named him Kowalski because he's a black dude. Like, I don't know how many black dudes you know that are named Kowalski. Rob, you're the black dude. Do you know any black dudes that are named Kowalski?
Wait a minute.
What?
No, I had a
Jason don't see color.
But no.
Learning everything today.
Learning all about Rob. I just thought that was weird. You might remember him. He played Dwayne on What's Happening, if you've ever seen that show. I thought it was strange that they decided to start calling the Clint's character Cooper Dick instead of Pooper Smith, because that's right there. It's right in front of you. You don't even have to bend nothing to get that. But
maybe if this was naughty speak and not evil speak.
Did anybody, the character Bubba that's like basically enlisted by the coach to, fucking mess with Cooper Dick, did you notice who he was? Anybody?
Oh yeah,
His
Bob from that 70s show. I
That
know, man.
blew my mind.
I know.
His name's Don Stark. Does not look the same at all these days, but he's been in a lot of shit, evidently. I think it's really
he's
weird.
a really good character actor.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that guy has a range.
Yeah. I still think it's like every time I see a shower scene like this, like where it's in a school or whatever, I'm like, why do those things ever exist? Did you guys take showers with your classmates ever? I never fucking did it.
I
once,
never
ever.
did.
Nope.
No.
That sounds like a
I played
goddamn
football.
nightmare.
Yeah, I played football and after games and stuff, but that was it.
Yeah. Shit, man.
That was it.
I just,
No way.
and these guys are so comfortable. They have no problem like just turning around, facing each other, making fun of him for his
Right.
parents dying. Like, what a
Right.
weird thing. Did kids get bullied for their parents dying? I mean, that's
that place you
fucking
did.
weird, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're just washing their nuts and
Making fun of dead parents.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of notes on this shit because I loved every bit of it. I mean, everything that's in it, all the computer graphics, the fact that an Apple IIe is fucking controlling demon shit. It's great, man. I don't think there's a better time than right now to do a sequel because they set it up.
I'm 100% with you.
They set it up and they can call it.
I was going to say the same fucking thing.
Evilspeak 2, this time more pig stuff, and fucking do it up, man. Clint Howard's still with us. Let's do this.
Richard Mole is too.
Yeah, this is
We should bring him
true.
back.
And you got to get him because the Night Court cast is really knocking off.
Yeah.
But I gave this an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. I want to own it. I got to get it. But
yeah, you gotta pay $50 for it now. But I guess you probably still you get a DVD. Yeah, it's gonna come out again.
Oh wait.
So I have supernatural tech horror. I think that sums this up pretty well. I love the shooting locations, the military school, the campus, the church, the basement. Like it all looks good. I love that. Great kills. The head being twisted around was great. The pigs are brutal in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The nails going into the priest. Another great head explosion. Like great kills. Clint Howard is great. He's perfect for this role. It's funny seeing all the CG effects, all the introducing the technology. The last 15 minutes of this movie is up there. The last 15 minutes of any movie, I think it's great. Solid movie. Recommend this. 8 out of 10.
Right on.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there, 100% with you guys, Frank, especially about that sequel. Like,
do it, get it done.
I've been like, since I only saw this for the first time, like maybe a few months ago, and then I've been in love with it ever since. Like, dude, how can you not like Clint Howard? Like, especially young like that. Like, he is like the patron saint of the fucked over, at least in this film. I mean, he is such a sad, pathetic character. Like, you got to feel bad for him. He is that runt puppy,
Tom
I really was that.
Don't bring him up. He just name dropped a kid from our school that was like that, but is now in jail because he fucking raped an old lady.
Oh,
he should have watched Amusement Park. He probably would have never done that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, he would have asked for more clocks.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out though.
Nope. I can't be the only
But-
one looking bad on here.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a bad joke. All right, anyways, yeah. So ultimate underdog, that's Clint Howard. I mean, he looks like it. He's that guy that just gets fucked with. I read that Don Stark was real method about this part, and like him and Cooper Smith didn't like interact with each other at all. So like he was so mean to that kid. Like it's so hard to see Bob be mean, and I've seen him do mean parts. You know what I mean? Like he was like some movie with he was a mob guy or something. He was fucking vicious. Like he's a really believable mean guy. Let's see what else we mentioned. Haywood Nelson from What's Happening. Claude Earl Jones. Every time I see that name in the credits, I'm thinking, all right, who's he in relation to James Earl? And it's way on the other side of the spectrum. It's the detective from Bride of Reanimator and the feed store owner from Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, I was trying to pinpoint
really
where I saw him
movie.
from too. Like,
Great movie.
Oh, that's a fucked up one too.
Now.
That was a sad that movie did me dirty, man. I felt so bad for him.
Poor him.
Yeah, Hamilton Camp. I mean, Meatballs 2 lives forever in my heart. He was the Colonel.
Right?
Yeah, dude. He was the other side of the lake.
So he was like with John Larroquette over there.
Is that a lisp? Lisp where? He's all
oh my god. I don't think we still have to do a podcast about that because
we got to.
I don't think I don't know where I don't have a show to put it on. We'll just have to do it as a special.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
Meatballs.
Sorry.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it several times. We like it better than the original Meatballs.
Fuck yeah, that's
might
not
as well
my
do
deal.
3 too, man. Get them all in there.
Yeah, every time he was Bubba was on screen, I always thought, oh geez, Cooper Dick. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get it out of my head. The one bully, the taller, I didn't know his name. It was hard to get all the bullies' names except for Bud.
Mm-hmm.
The taller, skinnier with the curly hair, he was the hall monitor in Rock and Roll High School. If you guys have ever seen that, he was the Buddy Search. I thought the fat dude was the other one, but it wasn't. Totally different guy. And let's just throw Luca Brasi into the mix as the and RG Armstrong, of course, but you know, we all know him. But I was surprised to see Luca Brasi show up in an apron with no shirt on. Like that was Sarge is the pervert, but this guy gives you the vibes. But then he just turns out to be cool. You know, he's just like,
I mean, as cool as you can be in that outfit. Like,
hey, you know what? Besides
that kerchief or whatever it was around his neck.
This is for the sweat. Anyways, besides him and Kowalski, like those were his only allies. You know, those are Cooper Smith's only allies, you know, and that's pretty sad, especially because like his parents died and the military academy just scoops him up. I know he was like part of the state, but like, can they do that?
I think it's really it's
right?
really weird when they have like military
so
people.
Weird.
The one dude was like acting like they were doing a charity and he's really like prissy and stuff like that. I don't think there are military people at that level that act like that. I just don't think they're like, and we're better than I don't.
He was. That was the senator's wife and Bud's mom, so he was trying to solicit money. He was
Oh,
just
wow.
trying to make it look good, you know.
Very
But
strange.
yeah, the whole this came out in what, 81, so home computers were becoming a thing, you know, the evil of technology, you know. The Apple II gonna take your soul, man. Like
It's like the flip
This
side of
was-
the movie Electric Dreams.
Never seen.
I've never
that.
seen that.
Oh, it's a movie
Never
from the
seen
80s
that.
where a computer falls in love with a chick, Virginia Madison. It's actually a good film.
Oh, how can you not fall in love with her?
Yeah.
She's great. Inanimate
Candyman
objects
did.
fall in love with her. Well, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, he did.
Sweet,
And
sweet,
she's
sweet.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'll wrap this up because I really just like the character of Cooper Smith. Like he got to the point where it was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck all of you. Here's the blood. Let's do everything. And then I liked it, but it did look silly. Him floating with the big broadsword.
Yeah,
It looked-
I liked it.
I liked it,
Another-
but it did. I will admit it looked silly.
It's suspended.
And yeah, the gore was great. I love the beginning of the beginning beheading, especially because you see the eyes do something
Mm.
like right
Yeah,
before it
yeah.
cuts. It's like they were probably gonna make it like or something. I don't know, but
What a
but I thought it
long
looked
ritual
cool.
too. That was a long ritual. They were there all day. It should. They were like, I imagine there was kids down the beach that are like, "Mom, what's that?"
Mom, there's a lady with no shirt on.
That's just a satanic ritual. Get your toys. They're floating out in the water.
Oh, hold on, I lost audio.
Oh no.
Check.
Oh,
I
no.
can't hear you.
Mike, check. Mike.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
That was
We just
weird.
had to do the checks.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, but what little effects there were cool. Those pigs were cool. Love those. Even them fake pigs they made, like the hand puppets, like busting through the door at the end. You know, those looked pretty cool. They looked like reminded me out of Razorback. You've seen that 80s gem.
No, not yet. I almost picked it.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
I
check
gotta
that
watch
out.
that.
Who's in
Is it
there?
really gory?
I bet Buck Flowers in it.
Is it really gory? Kind of. More of when they get the Razorback is it the goriest part.
Hmm.
You know, spoiler
Check
alert.
it out. No.
Jaws of
Right.
the outback on land dies.
Can't imagine what happened.
But yeah, dude, this sequel, I wanna make this happen. I gave this an 8 out of 10. It's just so ripe for a sequel.
Yeah.
And
I'd
I
back
really
the
feel like
Well,
really-
maybe we can
I feel
make
like-
an online petition to get a sequel done. I mean, it
Yeah.
weird things happen. I mean,
Let's
the people
make it
brought back
happen.
Star Trek, right?
I feel like Clint Howard would totally be down for it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I really feel like because it would just work out.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would
What do they
just
call
work
it?
out.
Change.org or something like that. Let's get a change.org thing petition.
No one reads those.
Too done.
Well, yeah.
You gotta go to Clint.
You
You
know,
gotta go
make
to
a
the
pamphlet.
source.
You know, if how about this? Here's what we do. We ask Eli Roth to prove his love of horror by funding the film.
There we go.
He's always looking
And
to
then
prove his love
releasing-
of horror. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
and then releasing Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Bring that back. Bring that out.
Rob, what do you say?
But yeah, 8 out of 10. Go for it, Rob.
And I love this movie. Everything from the gore effects to one of the best shower scenes in a horror film, and to the pig attacks, to the human chandelier scene at the end, which is, I mean, come on, who didn't laugh when he just nonchalantly flung that dude up into the air?
Oh yeah,
That
man.
was just so cheesy looking that it's.
The spikes didn't even like line up, and then you could see him moving when he breathed. Like, love it. I love it. Give me more of it.
And then the wonderful, very realistic scene where dude's heart gets pulled out. It totally was not a rubber chest or anything that they were pulling the heart out of. It was real looking, man.
Right.
No, seriously, no. I love this movie, and I'm one of the people. I wish I had bought that Scream Factory, because it's like, man, no, it's not gonna have to. I'm gonna either A, have to pay an arm and a leg for it, or B, be lucky like one of my friends who seems to find great deals on DVDs everywhere he goes, and just find a random DVD somewhere for like $5, and it's turns out to be the Scream Factory one, which I could probably pull off, but I don't know. But yeah, solid 8, man. That was it's a beautiful film. It's I highly recommend it because it's everything you want in a horror film, in my opinion, at least. It's very entertaining. It kind of reminds me of this movie I saw a while back called Fear No Evil. Very similar in plot and the type of chaos unleashed upon the people that were picking on the poor craven nerd who'd make some type of, well, actually in Fear No Evil, it actually was the son of the devil. But
okay, I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second. Yeah, with the castle and stuff like that,
Yep.
like in the
Fear
park.
No Evil,
Yeah.
that theme song.
Mhm. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. I've seen that. That was a cool
Right
one.
on.
Yeah,
Well,
Evilspeak solid, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'd say that's an approved film.
It's across the board.
Yeah. Next month, we got our picks here. Jason has selected Near Dark. That one's been batted around a few times. I'm surprised we haven't done it already.
I'm gonna nip her.
I never know what he says, really.
Yeah, it's all the same voice. Like every delivery.
I always miss half of it.
I can't even hear it.
I selected Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. We'll see how that goes.
I've
John,
never seen it.
I swear to God,
I
I've
have
seen
it on DVD. It's
I
actually
think-
a lot of fun.
I think it's solid, but we'll
Oh.
see.
I feel like it's going to be on the same level as the second.
No,
Uh,
Tales from the Hood. No,
yeah.
Oh no, it's
No,
way
I think
better.
it's going to be better.
No.
I think it's
It's
going to.
better
It
than
has
I-
to be
I
better.
I know that I've seen it a
That's a
long
low
time
bar.
ago.
Tales
but
from the Hood Part
it's
2 is
definitely better
awful.
than that.
All right. Okay.
John has selected Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which
Nice.
I mean, I can foresee that being just
Great.
approved
It's a
right
10.
off
Spoiler
the
alert.
bat.
Yeah.
And Rob has selected The Streets Run Red, which
Yeah!
looks it
It
looks
was a blind
really
pick.
it looks really bloody from the
I
trailer.
never saw that one either.
Mhm.
Got Lloyd Kaufman in it somewhere.
He's in
Is that on
everything, though.
Gotta be
Maybe?
good,
Okay.
then, right?
You can always, that's the mark of quality, is when Lloyd
If it's
is-
trauma, it's gotta be good.
Mm.
Oh Lord.
But anyways, we'll see you next time, guys.
Good night,
ya.
everyone.
Nice to meet you, Rob.
Nice to meet you.
Good to have you on the show.
Try to enjoy the daylight.